President Donald Trump started his day on Truth Social blasting his opponents before heading to Arlington National Cemetery for the annual commemoration to honor the fallen. President Trump wrote on Truth Social Monday morning, quote, "Happy Memorial Day to all, including the scum that spent the last 4 years trying to destroy our country through warped radical left minds who allowed 21 million people to illegally enter our country." Later, continuing with the annual Memorial Day tradition, he arrived at Arlington National Cemetery, flanked by Vice President J.D. Vance and Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth.
Dale Jackson here for Yellowhammer Now, and as you can see, people are freaking out because Donald Trump sent a tweet, or a Truth Social, which then was copied and put on Twitter, that said Happy Memorial Day, which not the best, I'll just be completely honest with you. And then he followed that up with an entire tirade about the enemies of America. And I would just point something out here. He got nothing wrong. Yes, they want to be mad about it. They want to scream, how could he do this on a holiday? But I'll just merely point out that he's been doing this on every holiday you could possibly think of. Easter, Thanksgiving, Christmas, Chinese New Year, Boxing Day, my birthday. He sends out tweets all the time that maybe aren't the best. But if you want to say he's freaking out on Memorial Day, let's look at some people who are actually freaking out Memorial Day weekend. How about former disgraced General Mark Milley? You know, the guy who said he'd warn the Chinese if America was going to do anything. You know, he said he was going to commit treason. Yeah, that guy's out there screaming about dictators.
We don't take an oath to a country. We don't take an oath to a tribe. We don't take an oath to a religion. We don't take an oath to a king or a queen or to a tyrant or a dictator. And we don't take an oath to a wannabe dictator. We don't take an oath to an individual. We take an oath to the Constitution, and we take an oath to the idea that is America, and we're willing to die to protect it.
I do not know how this guy is not in jail right now. But he should thank his lucky stars that he is not. And I understand he's an anti-Trump general, so he's a hero in the media. So let's talk about the media. Let's talk about Scott Pelley of 60 Minutes, a disgraced news magazine. Is that what they are? Well, he was ranting and raving at some college as well.
But in this moment, this morning, our sacred rule of law is under attack. Journalism is under attack. Universities are under attack. Freedom of speech is under attack. And insidious fear is reaching through our schools, our businesses, our homes, and into our private thoughts. The fear to speak in America. Power can rewrite history with grotesque, false narratives. They can make criminals heroes and heroes criminals. Power can change the definition of the words we use to describe reality. Diversity is now described as illegal. Equity is to be shunned. Inclusion is a dirty word. This is an old playbook, my friends. There's nothing new in this.
Again, this guy wants to tell you that he's a straight news journalist, that he's telling it like it is, and he doesn't bring a bias to the table. No one's ever believed him, but surely no one's ever going to believe him now because this is some insane stuff. If Donald Trump is a dictator or an authoritarian like these people think he is, why do they feel so freely going out and speaking against him? Oh, that's right, because he's not, and they absolutely know it. These people were afraid to speak out against Joe Biden because they knew that if they did, they would be attacked by people inside their circle. Journalism or the deep state. But if they speak out against Donald Trump, they're safe because those entities will protect them. Knowing that, how in the world is he a dictator? How in the world are they in any danger for speaking out? Oh my God, they're saying something all the power in this country agrees with the exception of Donald Trump. Oh my God, how incredibly brave. They'll tell you it's brave. It's not. It's not brave at all. These individuals who are speaking out and screaming on Memorial Day are doing so knowing they have the full protection of the mainstream media, the deep state, and every other entity that writes the headlines in this country. So you're not being brave here by calling out Donald Trump. You're just doing what everyone else is doing.